What is up? This is Colonial Puppet, and this is part 15 of the Let's Build a Stadium series. And this is going to be the start of the final section of bleachers, like I said in the last episode, and like all the episodes before that one. So I'm going to start with the short end of the field, and the bleachers are going to go right on top of the skybox area that we had built in the previous episodes. And yeah, I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to start by building temporary blocks here. Going to see where I need to start. Actually, I guess I can... It's going to be tough, because I know I need to build to... Okay. Gotta think about this for a little bit. I'll just start building here. Let's just say here. So, this builds out like that, right? And then we're gonna build out all the way to here. Alright. I'm getting the hang of how this works. I'm like trying to figure out. It's because it's actually been a while since I've built the bleachers to this thing. So how long does this go? Okay, cool. Alright, so do that. Then 2 blocks of space, followed by this. And I guess it would be easier to just count how many blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 8 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. Then 2 blocks again. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 blocks of space. And then, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Alright. So 17 blocks. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Cool. So that is that, and then 2 8s again, I believe. Yeah. So 2 blocks of space, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 blocks of space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 2 more blocks of space. And then, how many did we do over here? It really doesn't matter, but I like to keep it like uniform. And I guess I can build this out to, trying to think. I guess the farther back we get, the longer this area gets, so this can be, I mean, my guesstimate's here, right? Could get rid of this. I don't know what I was doing with this. Yeah, destroy all that. Don't need that no more. Same with this. I guess technically I could burn these away, but I don't want to risk anything. I'm too tired to think if I used any flammable blocks. So I will not burn that. So basically I'm just mirroring the how we laid out the bleachers down there. Keeping 1 block of space here. I'm just going to build that all the way to the end, like so. Cool. Then the next thing I'm going to do is take some glass pane, build it all the way to the end, like so. Cool. And we are almost there. So this is just going to be the protective railing. I wonder how the seats are here. Still get a good view of the stadium. That was my biggest worry, is that these seats would not be in full view of the... I mean, I guess these seats kind of suck, but you could come up to here and it'll be just fine. Although, now it has its own auto jumps over one block high things, so railings are pretty much useless now, unfortunately, but oh well. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is this. Going to build these up to here. So pretty much exactly like we did it last time. It's all flooding back, I remember. I remember everything. That's how we built it. So I'm going to build the first two, and then again it's going to be 12 levels of bleachers. And yeah. Alright, so we're at the end. Then I think we build out to here. So in this episode I'm going to build the 12 here and then cut to when they're built over there. And that will be it for this episode. The next episode will complete the bleachers, I think. So part 17 will be when the bleachers are completely completely built, that is. So yeah, that would be pretty cool. Then we're going to get started on the hallways and whatnot, and the exterior. Going to have to go into editing program and move that building out of the way. That was there, in case you don't remember. That building has always been there since the start of the Let's Build. The name of this world is Time-Lapse. I think I mentioned that early on in the Let's Build. It's where I did the time-lapse of that building. And instead of making another flat stone world, I just thought I'd build on this one. I thought I gave myself enough room at the time, but I severely underestimated how big this build would be. This thing is huge. The stadium, that is. So yeah, I learned my lesson. Alright. This is the tedious... Well, this whole build has been tedious. I've been complaining about how tedious it is. I don't think commentary complaining about how tedious something is very good commentary, so I don't know, I'll try to talk about something. But I don't know what. I took a trip to Goodwill the other day. I guess I'll talk about that, because it was interesting. I like to thrift. I watch LGR, Lazy Game Reviews, on YouTube, and that's a really cool channel if you're interested in technology and older, especially like vintage technology. Before I go on this tale, I'm going to build this out one more block. That's right. I forgot. We have to build this out again. But yeah, anyway, I was at Goodwill, and well, I had to take a bus, and I realized that there was a Goodwill on my bus route, so I hopped on the bus, stopped at the Goodwill, and was going to shop around and then catch the next bus back to where I was going. And it was an alright Goodwill. Didn't really find anything, though. It's kind of sparse, actually. I thought it was closed because it had really, like, tinted windows, and it just looked completely dark in there. So I thought it was closed, but I walked up, and apparently they just had really dark tinted windows because it was really nice and bright inside. Not too many people. But yeah, there's these two old guys, and I was wearing like a Bernie Sanders shirt at the time. For Christmas I got this Bernie Sanders shirt where he's in a sweater and he's holding a cat, and I thought that was hilarious. And I liked the shirt, so I wore it, and these old guys were like, "Is that Bernie Sanders?" And I was like, "Yeah, it is." They're like, "Oh my god." And then one of them was like, "We should take this kid out and douse him in gasoline and light him on fire." And I was like, "Oh my god, that was a little dark." And then they started getting in a political debate with each other, because it was two guys, one guy and his friend. And I know they were joking, but it's kind of a dark joke, I guess. And yeah, that was my Goodwill experience. Moral of the story: political shirts, even though I don't even think it was that political, even if you like or dislike Bernie Sanders, you could admit it's a funny shirt. But yeah, moral of the story is, if you wear political shirts, old men will joke about lighting you on fire in a Goodwill. But anyway, back to the Let's Build. That was a really bad tangent. I apologize. I just don't want to fill this, I don't want this episode to be filled with dead silence, radio silence. Is it dead air? I think it's dead air. I've been saying dead air this entire series, or for the entirety of my YouTube channel. I know the band Radiohead they named their website Dead Air Space, so I think that's where it came from. Or that's not where the term came from, but that's where the band got the term Dead Air from. Although I could be completely wrong, I don't know. I was a disc jockey for a little bit. I should know this. But I digress. Alright, so I'm going to finish building this one. And then I'm going to cut back when I'm done building it 10 more times, since we have 2 layers and we want a total of 12. Let's see. 1, 2. Yeah. Did I do this right? I did do this right. Alright. Oh yeah, I did, over there. So you pretty much just like build this all the way straight down and then connect it with the end here. And then fill in the space that's left as a result of doing that, which is all the space here. Cool. And yeah, I think this section of bleachers is going to be pretty much exposed come time to build the exterior of this stadium, because most of the stadiums that I've seen, the actual outer structure only really kind of goes up to 2/3 of the way up the stadium, vertical wise, and then the rest of it is kind of bare support beams and stuff like that. And then below that the rest is covered with building and whatnot, like habitable space. Whereas here it's just going to be like support structures I'm going to have to design. Putting in the half steps, can't forget that. Just too important. And if people are following along but want to take creative liberties, I was debating on whether or not to make the skyboxes straight or curved like the rest of the stadium. And I went with straight, but if you want to like kind of curve it in, just as long as you keep one block of space and make sure people can walk here, you could definitely like have this face curve in terms of the skybox. But yeah, if you did that, you wouldn't have this issue where the stadium is covered up and they'd have to stand here, which is kind of a design flaw on my part. But I mean, it's Minecraft. Not a lot of people are going to be filling the stadium anyway, so if it looks good, I'm pretty happy, I think. But yep, I'm going to do what I just did 10 more times, and then I will see you when I'm done that. Alright, I'm back, and if you notice a change in the audio, that is because this is post-recorded audio, because for some reason Fraps decided to stop recording the audio and kind of messed up. I don't know why. My computer can't even read these video files. Adobe Premiere seems to be reading them fine, but they're showing up as purple on the timeline, which is weird because usually they show up as blue, and there's no audio linked to it, so Fraps fucked up. But basically what I'm doing is I'm adding in the guide rails, and one thing to note is that I'm covering the ends of the aisles, as you can see, because no one's going to need to go beyond this point. So I would at this point I would leave openings for the aisles, but obviously that's not going to be the case, because this is the final level of bleachers. And I'm also explaining here, I think, how I'm not really going to be adding any supports to the bottom of these bleachers this episode, because, like I said, this part's going to be exposed exterior-wise, so I'm going to wait until I start building the exterior to really kind of worry about how I'm going to design any supports that will go underneath this section of bleachers. So yeah, I'm finishing up building this. And the next thing I'm going to do is just build the exact same thing over here, the 12 levels of bleachers and all the railings and whatnot, just over on the opposite side of the stadium. So I will see you when I'm done that. Alright, I'm back, and as you can see, the two short ends of the field have their final levels of bleachers. And one thing I talked about, again, this is post-recorded audio because these last two files were messed up. But one thing I talked about before signing off was how people are going to get up to these third levels of bleachers. If you just saw, I was pointing to the gate openings where people access the first two levels of bleachers. Yeah, when I come down here. Those are the gate openings. That's how people get to the first two levels of the bleachers, but obviously these last bleachers don't really have any entrance to get to them. So what I was saying was I was going to carve out gate openings on the aisles at a later date. I'm not really going to do them this episode because I don't really have that planned out quite yet, how I'm going to do those gates. But that is something to look forward to in the later installments of this Let's Build series. And yeah, so other than that, this has been Colonial Puppet. Be sure to check out the next episodes when it comes out, and the previous episodes if you would like to follow along. And other than that, this has been Colonial Puppet. Have a good day.